Welcome back to Get With The Programming. I'm Chase Ingram.
I'm Captain America.
And along with me is Bill Grumner.
Wolverine.
Hey, Bill, nice shirt.
Hey, you like that? Check it out. It just happened to show up in the mail.
Oh,
You
wow.
you may have heard of this guy.
Can you give a little spin?
Yeah, I can. Check it. Check it.
Spin. Check out the back. Keep going.
Let me get this out of the way here.
We don't need to hear you when we're trying to look at your ass. Raise up about... Yeah. Check that out. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Sorry,
Welcome back to you, dude.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes. Thank you. Been away.
I have to ask. I have to ask. You go on this. You go on this great vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful place.
Yes.
You got the family there. I know you got your hands full. Whoa, easy on the dude. Corey Leonard coming out with fire like nonstop. We just got started, dude. Telling us we're a minute late, talking about my ass. Anyway, all this beautiful stuff, and you still had time to post up and bring someone along on your vacation.
Yeah. Well, so what I did was I was like, okay, I just took pictures of the day, and then when I'm like, the thing is, like, I had downtime pretty much when the kids went to bed because our kids came on this vacation with us, so they were sleeping in like the living room. We had this kind of our room was separate, so we had like doors at least, but like they go to bed at 8:30, and there's nothing to do. So my wife and I would like grab a bottle of wine, go out on the back porch, and just look out into the. I mean, it was beautiful there.
Yeah.
And I would just go through my phone and select my favorite 10 photos of the day and just throw it up there.
That was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
The place looked incredible, dude. Wow.
Yeah, it was a beautiful place. Without getting into too much detail, it was actually a very, very hard week.
Yeah, you had the kids with you. Duh. Of course.
Yeah, when we had some family stuff that happened like early in the vacation, but like, yeah, it's we'll say it was a very hard week, but what the range of emotions that went through over the course of that week, and you got a very good appreciation for the things that you have and the opportunities that you get. So,
hey,
it was great.
I will jump on that bandwagon with you, dude. I don't know if it was the supermoon. I don't know if it's the season, the last month. Like, again, without getting into a lot of detail, like it is I'll say that I'm an older cat, and it is very strange to know that you could have mass awakenings and changes in your world where you are, and I'm not talking about like changes like you change your job or whatever, but to where you all of a sudden realize, like, complete realization of what is. I mean, everyone knows what's important in their life.
Yeah.
But when you really understand what's important in your life, and the lengths that you'll now go to get to those things.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm a 53-year-old guy that had an awakening that felt like I got slapped in the face, not in a negative way, but in a holy shit, I am in a completely different place than I've ever been in my entire life.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's crazy. That's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
I mean, here's the thing. So this is our third trip to Turks and Caicos, and out of respect to my family, like, I don't want to get into too much detail, but like, I do want to be honest. And this trip has always been like a family reunion. So like, our family is spread out like a lot, like all over the country. And like, we're the only family outside of California, but then like my extended family is all throughout California. And my mom's parents had split, but then one got remarried, and like, but they've always been my grandparents. So and my dad's parents split. So like, I had like 7 grandparents growing up. It was weird. I was like, oh, I have a massive extended family. And our families never get to do a lot together, like, because we're not very close. And so my grandmother and grandfather, this is the ones that got remarried. I mean, they've been married since I was like before I was born. they planned this trip for my mom and her sister's family. And so this is our third trip. And my grandmother, Judy, is like the planner, right? Like just she is a hardcore, just like I mean, feminist in the most endearing term, right? Not like
Strong woman.
yeah,
She
yeah,
gets her
like
shit done.
not a victimized version. Like I don't need anyone's help. I'm getting this done. If you would like to
Right.
be a part of this, I will allow you to help me, but I'm not leaning on anyone for this. She was awesome. Right? I mean, awesome, awesome, awesome. So she sets all this up. And for the past 2 times, we went in, I want to say 2016 and 2018. So it's like every 2 years. And it was a way to get everybody together because, like, my mom's sister, they have 3 kids as well. Like, so my mom, like, we have 3 boys, and her sister has 2 daughters and a boy. And so, like, our families were very similar. All the age ranges were different, except we were like 10 years ahead of them.
Yeah.
And we missed 2020 because of COVID. And my grandmother, after 2018, had developed Parkinson's. And it was really, really hard to watch. And prior to that, I think her brother, I can't remember the relationship. Like I have so much weird extended family, and he had passed of Alzheimer's, and that was like
Dude,
crazy.
Alzheimer's is gnarly. I had that in my family too. I
It's
get
a
it.
horrible, horrible
Yeah.
thing to watch because like it wasn't someone who didn't take care of himself. That was like the worst part. It just like took his life away.
Yeah.
And so she started to develop Parkinson's. And so, you know, we missed 2020, it was 2022, and it got worse. Like, and so she planned this trip again. It's 2022 is like, all right, like the conversations we're starting to have as like my parents is like, hey, it's really important that everybody makes this trip because like this may be one of the last trips we have with everybody.
Yeah.
And the plan was not to bring my daughter. She's 2. She has no business being in Turks and Caicos. My son, right? My son, who's 4.5, can enjoy this. My daughter will remember nothing of this trip. But after this trip, I'll remember everything about my daughter because this is like a whole nother story. And so I had this conversation with my dad because like my parents are really upset that we weren't going to bring her. I'm like, guys, we don't even want to bring Dylan. Like our lives are so busy and stressful that this is supposed to be a vacation for my wife and I. Like selfishly, we know this is a family trip. We don't want to bring our kids, but my brothers are bringing their kids, and we're sort of like, okay. So I had this long conversation. He's like, you have to bring Blake for Judy. And I was like, okay. And I saw this. I don't remember what this was on Instagram, and I think I talked to you about this. I mentioned on a show was this guy was talking about time with family members or friends. And so, for example, say if my dad was like 90, and I'm assuming he's like, maybe he has 5 more years, like 90, 95, or whatever, like 85, like that, 5 years left, right? And in my head, I was like, I got 5 years left with my dad. And then he's like, well, how often do you see your dad? I was like, I don't know, like once or twice a year. He's like, cool. You get to spend 7 more times with your dad.
Yeah.
7. You don't have 5 years with your dad. You have 7
opportunities,
more moments with your dad.
Yeah.
And when you put that into perspective, and that's the reality, right? We have this misconception that I have all the time in the world. You're right. 5 years is a long time. But I'm not with my dad for that 24/7. I get to see my dad 7 more times.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how important is that moment? So when I saw this video and I got to, I'm talking with my dad, I'm like, cool. I might have 1 or 2 moments left with my grandmother, and she may have 1 or 2 moments left, if ever. She's seen my daughter 1 time. So we take this trip, and it's rough. Like Blake was about as rough as we could get. We sat on the plane for 1 hour prior to takeoff because they didn't have any fuel on the plane. I was like, why did you put us on the plane? You didn't even have any
Oops, we forgot.
Yeah, it's already a 4-hour direct flight, which isn't terribly long, but it is for a 2-year-old who's never flown in a plane before. So it's a long trip. We land, we get to the hotel, and my grandparents got there before us. And God, this is a really deep story for everybody that came on for like a fun show. But anyways, we get there, And like my parents checked us in, and we're all hanging around. They hand you these like rum punch and like would you or like a punch and like would you like rum? I'm like abso-fucking-lutely, hold the punch.
Right.
Just give me all that. I've just spent 6 hours with this redheaded monster. And my mom is like, "Hey, Corky," which is my dad's name, and we'll just blow by that really quick. "Take the kids away. We need to talk to the parents." And I was like, "This is weird." And so we got to the hotel about 4. At 11:30 that morning, my grandmother fell into the pool and drowned.
Shut the hell up, dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I am sorry.
Yeah. So when we had got there, I mean, like, to make a horrible story short, so people don't have I'm not looking for don't reach out to me about this because I don't want to talk about this anymore. But like, it was so surreal, and she had that like my it's a terrible story. Like it wasn't in like a private pool. It was in the middle of like the most popular pool in the middle of the day on a Saturday, and nobody saw her. And so like they were I mean she like it wasn't official, like they like care flighted her to Florida, but like but on the 4th that it was done, like. And I still don't know how to process it, because we just got to the one place that the only reason why we were there with who we were with was for Judy. And it was crazy. Like, what I mean is like, we're there and like my daughter was being terrible, like terrible. And I'm sitting there almost trying to complain. And I'm like, I have nothing to complain about. Zero. And so like what I mean by and I appreciate all the notes, guys. Like, you don't have to do that. But I appreciate it. Yeah, dude. It was
So here
weird.
let me jump in and let me save you a little bit here.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm good.
I over the last probably 10 years or so have honestly come to the realization, like, they're like, however you want to look at it, whether it's God, whether it's the universe, whether it's energies, however you want to look at it, like, there certain things happen for a reason to set certain things up. Like when my dad died, he was able to wait. I mean, he had brain cancer and could not really function and do anything anymore. He made it. My brother was out there. Jim was out there first. I made it out there next. And then my youngest brother, Matt, made it out there. And he was holding on and basically kept his, where his faculties, the ability that he had to a particular level until we were all there. And once we were all there, and then my mom said, "Hey," like, cause I remember he asked Jim, he's like, "Hey, where's Bill and Matt?" He's like, they'll be here today. We showed up there, and I told my mom, I'm like, "Hey, at some point you're gonna have to tell him that it's okay to go." And there was like, the boxes were checked. Like, he had everything he wanted. He had his family around him. He's like, "Okay, now I can go." However that goes, whether he decides or something happens to where, like with your grandmother, everybody was there, dude. She got her list checked off. When else was she going to have that? When else would she be able? I mean, and granted, that's not necessarily the nicest way to have to go per se, but like, what other way could you have your entire family in one shot where that's where you get to say goodbye?
Yeah.
So
it's a good way
hard as that is, dude, like, honestly, it's an ugly wrapped gift, but it's a massive gift, dude. I mean, I feel bad for your family, but like, honestly, you couldn't have written out a better way for everyone to get together, especially for her.
Well, I'm glad I told this story because I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah, dude, like stuff like that. I'm telling you, things line up. You don't necessarily always know why they line up the way they line up, but things line up so that they can get done the right way. And I mean, again, not that I want to take my Terry time, but
No, dude, I
when
was like,
for
I'm gonna open this up. I know, like, we can talk
I
about
mean,
CrossFit in a second, guys.
yeah, fuck that CrossFit
We're
stuff.
shooting the shit. We're shooting the shit Friday.
Like in my world, I was talking about like the realization, the slap in the face, the awakening kind of thing. I mean, you know how I've been with like my daughters and my exes, and
Mhm.
I'm one of those guys that I really think I'm a nice guy. I really think I'm a good dad and a good person and all that. And for whatever reason, I have
I think
ended
you're
up
a
being.
great
Well, I appreciate that. Um, I've ended up, and I didn't really realize that with all of the pains that I've dealt with exes, with moms not trying, moms kind of changing the narrative on stuff so that screw dad, screw dad, screw dad, where my oldest daughter doesn't talk to me, even though I text her every single week, and still I want to have that relationship with her, even though where she is right now, she's not able to have that with me because of the things that she's been told and the way it's been painted and whatever.
Mm.
My youngest daughter, her mom, and it's an ugly situation for sure. But I have this, beautiful little girl that, thank God, still loves me. But all these years of dealing with all of that stuff, I like to think that I've just, become a really good stoic.
Mm.
And I look to the positive things and all that kind of stuff, which is true. I do that. But what I found that I have done is I have walled myself up
Mm.
to anything or anyone that might remotely put pain into my world. Whether they do or don't do
Mhm.
isn't even necessarily the case. I'm almost kind of expecting it, or at least I was. And I get the greatest girl in the world that actually likes me for whatever reason. And because I can't do what I'm supposed to do, I end up pushing away the greatest thing that could help me in all of my areas and all of this stuff, and not really realizing that, just thinking like, well, I'm sorry, I can't give you what you need, kind of thing. And literally getting slapped across the face with, you what the fuck did you just do?
Yeah.
And it's not a, oh, I just, I miss a person, because like you want somebody to just be there. What it was, I've never had anything like that before, that single-handedly crumbled the walls that I had built up that I didn't even realize were so huge. And then doing whatever I can do to try to get this amazing woman
Yeah.
back. It's hard, dude. It's hard.
Yeah.
Emotions suck. Dang it. I
And I was
mean,
like,
they feel good when they're good, but otherwise they suck.
"My dad told me not to ever cry in front of people." And that
But
didn't take at all. Like, I am the world's worst. I was,
you
yeah.
are a tear for
I
sure.
am. I'm like, it's funny is like I'll break like I could break my leg, like compound fracture, bone sticking out. I'm like, fuck, this hurts.
Yeah.
But you talk about like listening to that. I mean, and I've got to walk that with you. So like
Yeah.
I
No,
know
you know where I am. You know
yeah,
where
we're
I am.
sitting in a hotel room at the Ivy or the Eve in Miami, Florida, where I can sit on the toilet, wash my hands, and put my right foot in my bed, sharing that room, airing out some personal shit the whole time. But yeah, I guess we wanted to start this was an impromptu, like I honestly I wasn't gonna talk about it. Like I've only shared this with like 3 people,
900 people now.
and now I've shared it with whoever will listen to this podcast. But like I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, like personally, and like for both you and I, and the reality of it is like as personalities, it's like we're fucking people. Like
I know.
have our problems just like everybody else. And I think coming on here, I wasn't going to say anything more out of respect to my family because I'm not saying this to draw attention. Um, but like the weird part was, I mean, you think about like hierarchies in the family. Like when like I've always felt like I was 12. Like when I'm with my parents and grandparents, like what the time that I remember being with the group, like the pack, the pride, I was like 12. I have vivid memories like that's when they started per se. So when I get around my dad, like I'm gonna be 40 in November, but when I'm with my dad and my mom, I feel like I'm 12 again. Or when I'm with my grandparents,
Everybody falls back into their
their
roles,
age.
man.
Yeah,
100%. In fact, my mom
and
does that. My mom's got like 7 brothers and sisters, and they're all in their 80s, and they all get together, and I'm like, okay, there's a 16-year-old, there's a 13-year-old, there's the 8-year-old, there's a 7-year-old, and everyone plays their role. It's hysterical.
yeah. And,
I get it.
and so, like, when this happened, my mom, like, in it, from airport to the hotel when they told us what happened, like, we didn't know. My mom didn't know until we all got there. I thought my mom, like, as the information unfolded over like, we had a week. Like, this was the first 10 minutes of us stepping foot into this hotel. We were hit with this.
Mm,
And we were there for 8 more days. Like, I had to walk by that fucking pool 5 times a day.
crazy.
And I watched my mom, who, when she was with her mom and dad, like, she would call Judy, Judy, but dad, dad.
Mhm.
And I watched my mom be the kid. And in, like, unasked for, she became the matriarch.
Yeah.
Like that. And my mom's fucking tough, dude. I like, I don't know if my dad wants me to say this because like we all talk about our dads, but like my mom is 10 times tougher than my dad.
It's a whole different kind of tough. It's a whole
Dude,
different kind of tough.
it is a different kind of tough, but like, so my mom, when I was 23, the day I turned 24, my mom told us that she had cervical cancer. And like, and it was like, she had to get surgery and like full, like all of it.
All of it, yeah.
And she called all the boys. She goes, "Do not come visit me. I'm gonna take care of this myself, and I'll see you at Thanksgiving."
Dude, that's fucking badass.
Yeah, like don't. We're like, no, we're coming. Like, because we're like, fuck you, mom. I'm like,
Yeah.
especially me. Like, I'm the oldest. I'm supposed to like rally the troops. And like, no. She was like, don't. I will take care of this, and I'll see you when I'm better. Like, it's like anything. I was like, your parents don't want to. Like, it was. So to watch her handle the situation, like she had her moments. The hardest moment was the family photo.
Mm.
Because in her mind, like this was going to be the last family photo. Like the I like what you put about everyone being there because I can see Judy being like that's the way she would not the way she would want things to happen, right? But like the fact that she got everybody there, so everybody had an opportunity to be there together to get through it together, as opposed to scattered across the country, which we've been our entire like
Yeah.
lives.
Yeah.
And it's funny, is like I said, that she was the centerpiece of bringing everybody together every other year. Like she might have been this, like, not a martyr, but like, yeah. But like, to watch my mom go through all that, like that was tough. But there's like nobody better for it. And so like to watch everybody like move up a rank was
Yeah.
weird.
I
It was
bet.
really weird.
I bet.
But
Damn,
yeah.
dude. Wow.
Yeah,
Fuck.
so that was the vacation. That was a vacation.
And here I am giving you shit about taking pictures of Blake bouncing around in
Right,
chairs
right.
and
It's or Blake,
cool,
she like my daughter.
cool haircut on Dylan just cruising around like, oh, what's up, beach? Yeah, I own this
Right, so
place.
I got some like professional photos coming of my kids, and as batshit crazy as they were trying to get like a family photo on the beach, like that was an unreasonable amount of stress, but the photos we got were like awesome.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's cool.
Yeah, like you know, I people say this, and this is true. I've never met a camera I didn't like. Guilty. I get it. My son is worse than me, but not with family. They got him by himself, like under a pier, and you would have thought he was like a baby model. Not by the way he looks, but they're like hands in your pocket. He's like, boom, cross your arms, boom,
Got it.
chin
Yeah.
down, lean against the pier. It was. I was like, who are you? Oh wait, you're my son.
What's up, Zoolander?
Oh man. But yeah, so I mean, to wrap this conversation up and just let's make this a bit more fun with anything you guys want to talk about, but like the things that we normally take advantage of, it's not time, it's moments. Like it was weird because I've always been saying that. And the one thing that I felt so bad was like that we tried to do, we missed the moment. And I was like, damn, I thought I had 2 and I didn't even get those.
Yeah, but who was the moment for though? The moment honestly wasn't for you guys, it was for her.
Well, that's the thing is like that's
So
why
she knew everyone was coming. She knew everyone was coming. Like that's what I mean. Like the boxes got checked. It wasn't that you guys couldn't show up or you weren't bringing Blake or everyone was coming. So even though not the group didn't get to have the group hug and that literal moment, the moment was there because everyone was already embarking. Like the vacation was, everyone was coming in. It was obviously with very low end comment on this, but it was very unfortunate. But the job got done. Everyone was coming. She got what she wanted. You know, like that right there that was the moment.
Yeah.
That was the moment everyone was coming. So
maybe not the moment we'd all hoped it to be.
Not exactly perfect, but she knew everyone was coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
So wow, dude, I'm really sorry about that. But
thank you.
I'm really glad for you that everyone got to be together. Dude, it is amazing how important, how you forget, how can that be? That is the most important thing and the easiest thing to forget and get buried with all the bullshit stuff that goes on regularly.
I know, and then I look at him like I'm creating 90% of my own bullshit.
Everybody does.
And that's when it was more like I wanted, like my daughter was, she just turned into her terrible twos on the trip. Like there's nothing we can do. And right before every moment where I was just like, oh, I was like, it's like, what am I? I'm complaining about my daughter crying at a breakfast table. That's really
because it's shitty at the time, but it's really hard. I mean, when your head's in the trenches, it's really hard to pull back and actually see what's going on. And the fact of the matter is, that the story about Blake and how she's being just a hellion at the table is going to be one of the funniest stories when she's older and you guys are talking about the trip and how crazy it was and all the like. That will be such a centerpiece story and will be such a huge memory.
Did you see the reel I posted of her running around in her dress during photo day?
Yeah.
Where she just ran into the water. Like it was a 8-second video and it perfectly described what 8 days in Turks and Caicos was like with her. It was great.
Funny. That's so funny.
And it was funny. It's like at the end, like I had to turn the sound off because originally it was like really funny because everybody was laughing. But at the very end, when she was like getting swept out to sea, not really, but she went underwater.
Yeah.
In a dress. And my wife was screaming and I was like, hold on.
Hold on. 3 more seconds.
I gotta get this on video. It's going to be great. She was, she knew what she was doing. All she had to do was stand up, but
it's so funny.
Yeah, it was a good trip. It was a good trip.
Oh
But,
man,
yeah,
that's
it's been a
crazy.
while, gang. Sorry it took so long to get back. I've been dealing with some stuff.
Well, yeah, man,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things going on, and that's okay because honestly, what's cool about like at least like what we do. I mean, we can talk programming, we can talk numbers all day long and every day, and
Yeah.
we always will, and that's an easy joy for us to have. But it's, I think, we talk about the artisticness of programming and what we see when we're looking at and how like how we would design whatever, and our personalities come out in how we program.
Mhm.
And now we just got, well, they got to hear a little bit about us
Yeah, some
because
real life.
all that stuff paints into how we program, and paints to how we look at it. And so it's all right, man. I think it's good. It's good.
Todd, any fitness while at the resort? Yes, but I don't do, like, gym fitness on vacations. Like, I went out, dude, the water there is unlike anything I've ever seen, and that's a big thing part of that, and I just swam around, like around it, it's like this turquoise water because it's like 12 to 15 feet deep of just white sand bottom for an average of 20 miles around the island. That's how far out and how flat it is.
Wow,
It's
dude.
crazy. So all I did was just swim around. And like I swam with my nephews and he had a boogie board, but like he's 6, but he's the size of a 12-year-old because like he's my younger brother's son. My middle brother is 6'10 and his wife is like 5'8. And their son who's 6 is basically a 5th grader. And 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 so it was cool because like he could swim, but he wanted to for some reason he like loves to be around me because like I guess I'm Uncle Chase. And so I was like, get him on my back and like I'd swim around if he got tired. And then he had a boogie board, but like my brother was holding tight, like hanging too. Like
Yeah.
for me, I was just chilling. Like they were working their asses off. We'd find these shells and like, dude, I mean, like for you, like in your daughters, like for my mom, like a huge collector item is if you can find a perfect sand dollar.
$10. Hell yeah.
Like not the purple almost dead, like a white bone white sand dollar. And went out there and I found one. And there was 5 kids on the trip. I'm like, I'm gonna be out here for an hour and a half until I find all. And I did. I spent an hour and a half and I found 6 perfect, not broken, perfect bone white sand dollars. So like every kid got one. But
That's
what I would do is
cool.
like I would find them and then I go get Caleb, which is my nephew, and like he could hold his breath. And so my brother would push him down and I'd grab his hands and I'd pull him 12 feet on the bottom and pretend like he found them.
Yeah.
But like
Oh,
then
that's
he started
good.
finding him. I'm like, I'm kind of embarrassed that you saw that and I didn't. That was cool. It's like we did a lot of family time. We swam with like sharks. I mean, they were real sharks, but they were like lemon sharks.
Yeah.
And they weren't big. They were like babies. But to a 6-year-old, like we were swimming with great white sharks. But like my brother was like, fuck that. And I
That's
was
how I
like,
would've been.
Uncle Chase will get in the water. Hey, like you're gonna know. You're about to swim with Jaws and Captain America. Like that's how I looked at him. So like I put him on my back and we're like following above this shark. And it's a lemon shark. And then like it disappeared. The water was a little murky. We were on a sandbar. And then I hear my wife go, "Here comes the other one." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" There was one. She's like, "Here comes the other one." And that's when I started to panic. I was like, 1, cool. 2, I'm out.
That's right. Now you're outnumbered.
Yeah, so that was fun. That was some good times with the kids, but
That's awesome. That's so
oh
good.
man. Uh let's see. Oh, one thing I wanted to promote. I think Travis is still here. Yes. Mr. Travis. So did you see what happened with Hiller and his no rep shirt?
No.
No. He got a cease and desist letter from Noble.
For for saying no rep?
Well, to be fair,
Oh, like the way it was drawn?
look at this shirt. I mean,
All right.
okay? Like this was done on purpose, but he got a cease and desist letter, and so he said is like he has until the 26th, I believe, till he has to stop. So if you guys
want one.
I just put the link in the chat. Yeah, this is now a collector's item, and so shout out to Andrew Hiller, Indicate, and Travis. They'll no longer be allowed to make this shirt, but they can sell them until the 26th. So I went out and bought one yesterday.
Oh, that's good. I'll
Yeah,
get mine
they're
today.
right. They're right. And to be fair, I am waiting to get the letter from CrossFit that the OG shirt can't be sold anymore either.
Why can't it?
Well, because
It wasn't their logo.
you're right, it wasn't their logo.
They didn't have it trademarked.
Well, they are currently doing that.
Yeah, but it won't even be that. It won't even be that though.
Yeah, we'll see. The way so I was talking with Ken.
Let's us do a
like,
cease and desist.
I was like, hey, we should get this trademarked because like this is starting to take off way more than we thought it was going to. And I was like, hey, let's just trademark it. Like this is our design. The pukey clown figure that we're using. Oh yes, we're getting good now. We're getting this like sexual spam in the chat.
Yeah, best adult site ever.
Yes, thank you for that. Hold on, let me get rid of these things. And so I was like, hey, let's just trademark it because like I think we got a really cool thing going here. And not the fact it's not about selling t-shirts. That's the other thing. Like it's not about selling t-shirts. It's the whole it's funny. I was in Boulder and I was actually describing this reasoning to the CEO in person. But I was like, I would like for this if it's like not an attitude, that sounds like douchey, but like it is an
attitude. It is an attitude.
It's not about the shirt.
Right.
It's about what the logo represents to get back to good.
Yep.
Right? We want to put the cult back in culture.
Yeah. Hell yes.
Like, in the most positive way. And it was really cool because I had this amazing conversation with the interim CEO, Allison, who's awesome, by the way.
Cool.
She's at Park City for a decade. She's not,
dude.
Yeah, dude, she is an OG. Crazy. I mean, she grew up doing CrossFit under the tutelage of Eric O'Connor, Chris Spieler, and Doug Zakaris.
Dang, that's cool.
Right? So like,
cool.
She's not just some suit. Right? She's the CFO, who's now the interim CEO, who's super freaking cool. And so she's like, hey, she's like, because I went into the Lions. I say Lions Den. It's HQ. Like,
right.
It's cool. Like it's different. It's back. It's getting back to good. I'll say that. There was a lot of positive things that happened over the last couple of days.
Okay.
But I was like, I'm wearing it. I want to see how much this place has changed.
Good, man.
I did. I walked in and I was like, whoo, I may get fired. And I've been on the job for a day. And it was Wednesday night. We're all at dinner and we're, having a glass of wine. And she's like, hey, talk to me about it. And I was like, this is it. She's like, it was awesome. She's like, how do we keep the culture yet progress the business of CrossFit? And that not to say of dollars and cents. How do we get CrossFit more globally accepted and advertised and brought to every corner of the earth? The world is better with CrossFit in it, period.
Yep.
You don't have to do it, but it's just better. And she's like, how do we keep the culture of like, it was hardcore, right? Like it was cultish. It was, no, it was cult, not cultish. It was and is. How do we preserve that yet still make it palatable and presentable to people that are afraid of that, not knowing what it really represents? You know what I'm saying?
You want to know what my answer to that would be?
What?
Don't fucking be afraid that people are going to be afraid of it.
Because
if you do that,
scary. That's the thing.
No, the scariness came from Yes, they were badass, studs and the original, the fire breathers and like that kind of terminology, which is no different than calling every single person that's in your gym an athlete. It's
Mhm.
giving them a cool title because they feel cool and they're doing cool stuff. And that element of, well, I can't do that. That's hard. That's scary. That's whatever. That's on them. That's not on the company or what CrossFit is or whatever. And that's on us to explain that, not to water it down. I cannot stand CrossFit gyms, or just gyms in general, I guess, that water their shit down so much and this is the reason. We don't want to scare anybody because people aren't going to come here if they think that they're afraid. Because now what they're not thinking about helping people.
Yeah.
All they're thinking is, I need to get people in here, and that's all. So you're not, the
Perception.
importance of what you are doing
Yeah.
is out the window. You watered down everything so that money is now the issue. I
Mhm.
need members in here, period. And the only way I'm going to do is, I don't want to scare them. So if I
Then
don't
don't.
scare them,
Like, that's
then
my answer to that. It's like, who's scaring them? It's not CrossFit.
no.
They're in your gym. What are you doing to
Right.
show them that it's not scary?
Right.
Which is the craziest thing, is like the one thing you're afraid to do is like, you are like, CrossFit did its job. This person walked into your gym because of the name or the curiosity of it. And if they are afraid of it, they're still right in front of you. So what are you going to do about it? Like, water
Yeah.
it down, or just like, yeah, hey, this is what it is. Here are all your misconceptions of what is scary. We're not going to like dumb it down to like, oh, you were right. This shit is scary. It's like, no. Let's break down these stigmas.
Great changes and great things don't happen unless there's great work that's been put into it. It just doesn't happen. You can't have amazing results without how's that phrase go? You can't have amazing results without amazing whatever. And that amazingness is not a watered down program, not trying to scare people. They have to know that, like, that's something to aspire. I will get what I want because I'm doing this great thing. You don't get greatness by not doing greatness.
Mm.
And so, like, I have people all the time that say that our programming is too aggressive or too hard or too whatever. And my response to that is, okay, but to who? Because if I'm able to do these workouts, then that means that there is a certain amount of people that it's good for. Now, what the coach's job is to do is to scale appropriately so that the new person that comes in, make them feel good. Like, hey, I know it says that we're doing clean and jerks at 225 pounds on this thing. You won't be doing 225 pounds.
Right.
We're going to make it so that you're able to do 200, your version of the 225 pounds. That's our job, is to do that for people. You can't just say, hey, we're going to send this out. CrossFit isn't scary. I think if that is the direction that people are worried about, then they aren't thinking about what they're trying to do, which is, we will make you better from no matter where you are, whether you are a badass or you are not a badass. We will make your life better. Those phrases, those early comments were our driving force, which made CrossFit do what the fitness program do what they need to do. That's what did it. Not, let's just do whatever we can to not scare anybody. And that's bullshit. And I know people are afraid to do things hard. That's the scary part. People don't want to people are afraid to work hard. They got to know that it's safe to work out hard, and it's safe to get your ass handed to you, and it's safe to come in here and breathe hard and get under some heavy weight and fail on something and not be able to do a pull up and whatever, because you are in a place that is going to support you, help you move correctly, give you all of the steps and modifications to get you to where you want to be. So you come out, 2 years later, and you may still be thinking, oh, I am still struggling in this and that. And the other thing, it's like, oh yeah, but you're doing bar muscle ups where you were doing banded pull-ups before.
Yes.
Your world is better.
Yes.
Period. So that watered down, like that to me, that's what I think. Like,
yeah. Well, I like what you said is like, and for the record, is like Alison was to say, how do we make it not scary? She didn't say
And
that.
what up, Sousa? What up, Sousa?
Yeah, what's up, Sousa? But I look at when you said, okay, we want to, the message shouldn't be, and they're not saying this, but we're saying, don't say cross is not scary, because you immediately put in someone's head, they're like,
That it is.
oh, it's supposed to, or, oh, I didn't even think that it is scary. Like it's like if someone is climbing and you say, don't look down.
Don't look down because you're super high.
Down. That's not what you're supposed to say. You're supposed to say, keep looking up.
Yeah.
Like your directions shouldn't be driven by the negative. It should be presented with the positive. Right? And so when someone comes in, think of the first part of that sentence. When someone walks into your gym and you're like that, and CrossFit did its job.
Done.
Now it's on you.
Yep.
Now it's on you. And yeah, that was it was a great conversation. Yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, like I was in Boulder up at HQ for a couple of days, and I got to meet. I saw Nicole Carroll.
That's cool.
Oh my god, dude!
I miss her.
When she walked in, it's so funny because like Nicole Carroll is she's a small person with the most like
massive
room
persona,
filling aura of anyone. Like I love Dave Castro and I respect Dave Castro. And like if Greg Glassman walks into the room, but like when Nicole Carroll walks into the room, it's just different.
Yeah.
And it was so awesome to see her. I mean, she always looks great. But
yes, she does. Yes, she does.
She didn't have to say anything. She just popped in. She has that little smile, and I was like, all is right in the world. And the meetings that we had, and like everything of the last couple of days with, you know, I got to sit down with Gary Gaines and Nicole Carroll and the interim CEO with Allison and the director of marketing. I get to sit down with all these people, and it is so nice to see how hard people are working on the back end in the exact fashion that you and I both love.
Good.
Like, yeah, like there is great effort going on behind the scenes to basically everything that people have been complaining about over the last 2 years or so is like it's recognized, and they are, dude, I've never felt so lazy in my life than after 2 days of hanging out with all of those people. It was,
wow.
Yeah. I was like, I need to work harder. And I thought I worked hard. And yeah, that was awesome. Oh, but Dill, did you just buy a shirt?
Just did.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was
How's everyone else doing though? How's everybody else doing?
Yeah, enough about us. Sorry, we just wanted to lay the grounds of Shoot the Shit Friday. Shoot the Shit Friday.
Planet Fitness was a bagel shop. Purple bagels. Purple bagels. Thumbs up.
Will, it's a great yeah, it's like the whirlwind of 6 weeks. Yeah, from an online position of some Canadians trying to cancel me from the broadcast to sitting down and having a glass of wine with the CEO of the company. Yeah, I would say there's been a pretty good turnaround since then.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't actually. You guys are doing a great job of putting my world into perspective. I really do appreciate that. Who knew that? Like Weird Chem here is like, hey, ask us any questions, guys. We'll talk to y'all, and it turned into like some type
therapy session
for the both of us.
Hey man, you know what? I tell you, new timeline, dude. New timeline. I'm a new person.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Man, I didn't know how much I needed that. Are the new OG shirt gear still available? Yes. Let me see if I can pull this up.
Hey, so tell me about the hats anyway, dude.
The hats.
Yeah. The lifeguard hats.
Oh, what do you mean?
Are they, when are we able to get those?
Oh, yeah. Let me pull
games
these
or
up.
what's up with that?
So yeah, the shipping, I don't know what's happening with that. Hang on, let me pull this up.
Patrick, yes, I am. I'm going to do all the age groups actually for the broadcast of the games.
Oh, look at this. Let me try to share this screen. Ken's doing such a fun job with this.
Yeah.
Look at that. Right off the bat.
Boom.
You guys log into there. Apparently if you your first purchase, you're going to get 10% off. Click through this OG collection. Look at that, man. Oh yeah. It's all in there.
So much color.
Dude, so this one that I have on right now, hang on. Oh, I forgot I could tab back and forth. Is like the purple version of the like orange in one, and
Yeah.
then there's a blue one.
I like the blue one a lot.
Dude, but this like if you guys get any shirt, get the vintage one. It is so it's a soft. I just finished I did the event for the last chance qualifier. Like I finished it 10 minutes before we got on. That's why I was so late, because I couldn't get off the ground. And I was sweating my ass off, but I put this on, like you can't even tell that I'm sweating, and I'm instantly like, it's so thin. It's so, like, it's great.
That's cool.
But anyways, so yeah, that's up there. The hats are up there. The plan right now, since Bill and I will get to be at the games for the first time in Madison since 2018. Think about that.
I know. Sad.
2018 was the last time you and I got to be together out there. I think Ken has and Amy and Sherpa Works are going to have a RV out in the RV park. And so we'll plan just a little meet and greet.
Yes.
Little cheers and beers. And we're going to have like all this shit out there.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
So like, I think there are some rules of like selling things on site. So like what you can do is I think you can buy something online and just do pickup.
Oh, that's cool.
And so like we'll just be there. So like these hats are coming. So if like you guys roll into Madison, we're gonna let you guys know when we go out there, and please come hang out with us. Like, please. I don't know if we'll do anything live out there. I guess I could bring this stuff. I'll figure it out.
Okay. Well, let me know, because I'll have my computer and everything. Yeah, we'll have all that shit.
Yeah, I have like extra mics now. Like I could do a round table of 6 people if I wanted to. I've got
Sousa, are you going to be there? Is Sousa going? Are you coming with the whole Savon podcast crew?
Yeah.
It would be really fun to do a massive podcast collection all at one time, broadcasting on multiple streams all at once.
Just like crossing.
Well, you know, just crossing streams
on these live streams. We can actually share. We can all go live from our own channels on one link via Restream.
Oh yeah, okay.
So like, not to say we would ask, Susan and the Savon podcast to hop on ours, but like we could send a link that's shareable so that actually goes live off their channel. So they'll still get views off of their channel. Like that's how it works. It's really cool. I think we should. I think it'd be really cool. I don't know what our days are going to look like. Because when we get on site, guys, like we got some long days, and I'm not complaining at all. I'm just like letting you know.
No, and the hard thing is that you can never tell what your schedule is going to be. You don't know that you're done for the day until you're in bed, or until you're in the, having the beer at the end of the night kind of thing. But you never know when that's going to be. So you can't plan. You can never plan anything.
Yeah.
You have to, you got to get ready for the next day. And
our friends like, hey, let's hang out. I'm like, okay.
Maybe.
Because we'll have like we have to get there early, and we have like pre-production meetings before the events even start. And that usually has to happen like an hour and a half before the first event begins. And then when the whole day is over, we still have to sit back and have another hour to hour and a half meeting afterwards to prepare for the next day.
Yep.
Get with the Savon programming. That's funny.
I got to do his laugh.
He
His
does have a cackle.
big old cackle that he does all the time.
Man, another like group of people that make me feel like I'm just dragging ass. What Sousa and Savan and everybody there that are doing, they're just like
I don't know
crazy.
how he fits it all in his day. I mean,
I
he
know.
takes his kids to the beach. They're playing tennis. They're skateboarding. They're doing the jujitsu. They're doing the piano, which is really cool. I saw that. I can't remember which one of his kids did it, but his son was playing piano, and it was a Kiss song. It was like, I
What?
don't know, Love Gun or Dr. Love or something like that. And Seven's wife posted it on Instagram, and she's like, "Yeah, I just found out who Kiss was," and I hit her up, and I'm like, "What? You just found out who Kiss the band is?" Like, that was the very first album I ever bought when I was 5 years old. Was Kiss Destroyer. I'm like, "You've got it." She's like,
That
"Oh
was
my
the
gosh,
first one?
first one."
What was it? You know what? Yes. I like the no plan B thing.
I think
like
that's rad.
that's sweet.
I
That's
actually
almost as
lived that
cool.
way without even knowing it. Like,
That's
that
almost
was,
as cool as the OG thing.
yeah. I was all in, man. All in. It's so
Here's a
cool.
question. So all the guys watching, what was the first Bill? Now Bill said album, not to
Album.
date himself. I'm gonna
Record
say
album.
CD,
Long play.
but yeah. What was the first non-digital album release CD that you guys ever bought? I would love to see what the answers are. So what was yours?
Mine was Kiss Destroyer.
Kiss Destroyer. Mine was Dookie by Green Day.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That was
I can
my
see that.
very first CD that I ever bought with I say my own money. It's like allowance money that my parents gave. I worked for it, but ooh, Elise, a little collab, an OG with no plan B. That's great.
That is pretty cool.
That's really good. Just an OG with no plan B.
That is
There you
really
go.
cool.
Look, a little combo.
So many good
Let's
things
see.
to do like that,
Bought
huh?
tapes, Christian music tapes, Backstreet Boys. Oh God,
there's
you got hold on. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
got
falling
you in
behind
there
with
for
both
sure.
these. Okay, we got TLC, Crazy Sexy Cool. FML, what are you talking about? That was great. Let's see. Busta Rhymes on cassette tape et al. Travis, first album I ever bought on tape. Air Supply, greatest hits.
Oh my
No
gosh.
way. I feel like you're just quoting a Family Guy episode.
Yeah. Totally.
Appetite for Destruction. Is that son of a bitch?
That's Guns N' Roses.
Metallica. Is that Metallica?
Yeah.
Will Smith, Big Willie style. How old are you, Wad Zombie? Savage Garden. Hell yeah, Stefan. Self-titled album. I love that CD.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you.
Backstreet Boys, Lauren, love you. That's great. I bought tapes. I had tapes too. I bought tapes, Christian music tapes, Janelle. Let's see. Quiet Riot. Oh, now we're getting there. Van Halen, 1984 cassette tapes. Andrew Sten. I love it. Britney Spears. Todd, you're full of shit. Don't you? Don't troll us. If it was, then good on you. Let's see. Mike Halpin, Nirvana MTV Unplugged album. My first cassette was probably the Rocky 3 soundtrack. Corey Leonard.
Dang. You know what? Okay, so Rocky 3, all the Rockies were my montage that I'd watch before the day of that I had to wrestle. All through high school. Yeah, even into college. I would watch
That's awesome.
the training sessions and stuff. The montage music. Oh man, so good.
Fred Swin, first cassette, Anthrax State of Euphoria, 1988. First CD, Temple of the Dog.
Nice.
Who is that?
Yeah, that's who they are.
The band? Oh, okay. My bad. Scuba, Seal. No way. Did you really? Now, did you buy the Kiss from a Rose or the CD for that song because of Batman?
Batman.
Is that why? I want to know. Because the only reason why I got that CD, that's why I was saying that.
Fun fact on Seal.
Corey Leonard.
Fun fact on Seal. My dog. Remember Sam?
Yeah, Sam.
Sam's dad was Seal's dog.
Shut up! Really?
Yeah, I had Sam's dog's son.
No way.
Yeah, super cool.
That's awesome. Speaking of Sam, CrossFit Instagram posted a
I know
workout of the day. I'm looking at this photo and I'm like, okay, that looks like Bill's old gym from like a decade ago, and that looks like Bill from a decade ago. And I know that Sam pulling on the rope, but I'm like, how old is, like, where did you guys even pull this photo from? But like, you were on a little .com.
It was so cool. I was so stoked. I thought they tagged me that, and I hit them back. I'm like, dang, that is a blast from the past. Like, part of me wanted to say, did you guys run out of pictures that you have to go back through the ones from like, 10, 12 years ago, or what happened?
Thanks for reminding. And that, what's funny
Super
is
cool,
like
though.
Facebook memories will come up like that.
Yeah.
And I saw it was like a meme, and it's like, dear Facebook, thank you for sending me, like, reminding me of all my ex-girlfriends and dead dogs. Kyle Landis, Sublime. Ooh, that's a good one. Good one. What is Janelle? I use LimeWire and pirated all my music, and I did too.
Oh, that was so good.
Oh, ordered an OG shirt. Who did that? Oh, John.
Way to go, John.
Roboshow. I think I said it right. First tape, Vanilla Ice. Too Rich Dog. I use LimeWire. I'm all out of love. Whitney Houston cassette tapes. Look at this. See, these are our people. Cassette tapes and albums. Melinda. I'm falling way behind. I should not have. MC Hammer. Yes. Did anybody buy like the parachute pants because of Too Legit to Quit music video? No, I did.
No.
I was like 9 though. You're welcome, John.
And now we wonder where Blake gets it from.
Gee, yeah. Let's see. Corey, Guns N' Roses. Oh, Appetite. Okay, there you go. Garth Brooks, No Fences. There we go, Matt. Love it.
Never bought that.
First album was Cher, Soccer Mom.
Wow.
God, you guys are so old. Shaq's first and last. Oh yeah, Wad Zombie 33. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Big Willie style 30. You're not older than me. Wait, was Travis older than me?
No, it was Travis that said that.
Travis said that. Travis between me
and then look what he just wrote. We need to change this to Get with the Old Timers podcast.
We'll make an OT shirt for old timers. Oh, this is awesome. This is awesome. Do not trolling boy bands. All right, Todd. Hey, no judgment here. I just thought you were kidding. Oh, let's see. God, you guys are awesome. Jay started like, I know I'm Get Off Your Lawn podcast. Okay, so I got this question from somebody that I'm going to throw at you, and the question was, it was directed towards us, and they wanted to know how you got started in wrestling, and like, how did you carry that through college? Like how did you get started with all that?
My dad was in high school. He was a track football wrestler. In college, he played football and wrestled, and wrestling became his thing. He was really good. Made it all the way up to, he was the first alternate in the Olympic trials. Back in his time. Yeah, inducted into his Sports Hall of Fame at his university, Clarion University in Pennsylvania. And so he was the high school wrestling coach and teacher when he was younger, and me and my brothers were just the little punk kids that were hanging out with the wrestling team when my dad was running practice. So we would just watch them do their thing, and we're flip-flopping around on the mats and being tossed around by all the high school kids. And when I was about 5, and I remember, what's crazy is, I mean, that's almost 50 years ago. I
Wow.
remember sitting in the car with him, and we're driving somewhere. We're over by the high school somewhere, and he's like, "Hey, would you ever want to be like on a wrestling team?"
Mm.
And I was like, I mean, if my dad said anything, I'd be like, yes. So I'm
Yes.
like, yes. So he got us started in the little local wrestling club that some of his wrestlers were actually the coaches for, and just started from there and wrestled from 5 all the way through high school. State runner-up, state champ there, did international stuff, freestyle champion, Greco champion, went to nationals and stuff like that. And then was going to go to the Air Force Academy, decided not to do that.
Oh, wow.
Went to, I really liked doing it, and I was going to wrestle there, but I decided that where I was in my mind, I really wanted to get out from underneath my parents and kind of spread my own wings. And when you're wanting to spread your wings and you go to an area or go to a service where you're not really able to spread your wings until they tell you that you can spread your wings, it just wasn't something that I could do at the time. And then got in with the Cal Poly, talked to them. My advisor went to Cal Poly actually out of high school, and so she helped me get in and got on the team there and wrestled there. And so wrestled all the way through college. Wrestled with Chuck Liddell. He was my teammate for 4 years. Got to see him do his whole UFC.
That's the cool thing. I
career.
think a lot of people don't know that you wrestled with Chuck Liddell.
Every day, man. Every day we would beat heads. Every single day. It was awesome. And then that was like, I will always, I mean, I haven't been on the mat in a long time, but I will always consider myself a wrestler, and have that mentality. And that all came from my dad, obviously, but there's something about a wrestler, whether you're good at wrestling or not good at wrestling. There's something about being a wrestler and being involved with wrestling and the practices and the discomfort that you put yourself through to do whatever. So, man, it is who I am. I'll always consider myself that, no matter how old I am.
Let me see this. All right, I'm not doing this right. I think I found a picture of you. Are you in there?
Yeah, that's high school. God dang. So I'm at the top.
Is this you?
Yeah. So actually in this picture, my dad's right in the middle.
Right there.
Nice tan dude right there. My Jim is 1 row down and 1 over from me. So there's me.
Right here?
Yep, that's me. And so Jim is down and to the right.
Is this him?
That's him right there. Yeah.
And then this is your dad?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Look at you, man.
It's me.
Dang. That's awesome.
That's a long time ago right there. You don't have my college one where I have all my long hair. My hair's like down to here. Oh, big old curly mop. They wrote an article on me one time that they called it mop on the mat. And I was good. I would beat people all over the place, but my hair would just not stay in the headgear at all. It'd be all over the place.
That's funny.
David King, you know what's up, dude. You know what's up. And yes, I never broke my nose, even with all the cross faces and knees.
I think that's the most amazing stat. Like, screw that you wrestled with Chuck Liddell. The fact that you've never broken that giant nose.
I don't know how it's possible. I mean, I don't know if it's a good thing that I have an adamantium beak. I don't know. Who knows?
Ed makes a great point. They had color pictures when Bill was in high school.
That's been after processed, so they
what is it, like the recolorization,
the recolorization
or 2 videos. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's cool. It's really cool.
So wait, your dad your dad was going to wrestle at Cal Poly.
Yeah, so my dad grew up in really kind of the same area that you're in. It was more San Francisco, like San Bernardino. Is that around that area?
Yeah.
And so my dad was a wrestler in high school and he played football. And his original plan was to go wrestle at Cal Poly. Like that was one of his things. And he ended up going the football route. And he actually went to the University of Hawaii for a year. That was his
Oh, whoa.
freshman year. Yeah. So that was his freshman year and then transferred to University of Arizona after that. And he was originally recruited to play like tight end and
So
then
weird.
became a middle linebacker for the University of Arizona, which is really funny. My dad is crazy. But yeah, so it's really funny to have like that weird connection. Like you guys would have, I mean, he's older than you are, but like you guys would have had that almost had that same wrestling connection.
Yeah, but I mean, wrestling connection, alma mater connection. I mean, that's still there's a kinship that for sure, which is cool.
Yeah.
Dave, where'd you wrestle? I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kurt Angle actually wrestled at Clarion. He's from where my dad went to school.
Todd, I didn't wrestle, but Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar are dope. Oh, that's funny.
That's called wrestling.
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 So like I reluctantly fell into swimming. I didn't start my athletic career to be a swimmer. My dad was a football player. My mom was a swimmer. My mom made Olympic trials, and she was a very good swimmer. My dad was a very good football player, and I just wanted to be like dad because that's how we were raised. Like my dad to me, is just like imposing monstrous figure, and
Right.
I was anything but that growing up. And I tried so hard. So I was like my freshman year of high school, and I from 8th grade to freshman year of high school, all my friends looked like they fell in the ooze from Ninja Turtles 2. Like, I was like, "What happened to all of you? Like, you all turned into grown men over the summer, yet I still sound like I'm my dad's daughter." Like, that's where I was in my, like, puberty state. And so I tried to play my freshman year. Yeah, no pun intended. Fell into swimming, and I got destroyed. Like it sucked, but it didn't bother me. But my mom was like, "Hey, maybe let's just try another sport." And
I mean, you guys, how come you never tried wrestling?
so truth be told, I did try it when I was younger, and it was like my 3rd class, and I was having fun, and then this new kid showed up with headgear on, and we're like, "Oh shit!" Like he looks serious, and he ear smacked me so hard with his headgear because I didn't have headgear on, and he was super strong. I quit. That's why I legit like I got my ear smashed by headgear, and I was like, "Fuck this." And I was like 7 or 8, but I vividly remember, like, because I was holding my own, and even I wrestled in 7th and 8th grade with our sports teams, and I actually won my weight class with that, but, like, I didn't do it seriously. Um, so after freshman year of football, and I got cut from the basketball team, so I was looking for something to do, and my mom was like, "Hey, water polo is starting." And I had swam, like, summer league, but I didn't start really till I was, like, 12. And she was like, "It's tough and it's violent, it's swimming, but it requires a lot of athletics and, like, hand-eye coordination." I was like, "Yeah, I'll give it a shot." And my mom would like taught us all how to swim as kids because she was a swimmer and she wanted to make sure all her boys could swim because we had pools growing up. So like that was a very dangerous thing to have like around children. And she's like, "Hey, like I'm 15." And my mom takes me into the backyard and tries to teach me how to play water polo before my first practice. And my mom beat the shit out of me every day for a week. And as a 15-year-old, I was like, "What? What, mom?" And she like once we got in the water and I couldn't touch the bottom anymore, it was like a grizzly bear was in the water. Like she was so strong. And I forget, like I'm 15, my mom is like my age.
Right.
My mom was, I think, 22 when she had me. So if I'm 50, like she was 37. which is
Wow.
wild to think about. I'm 15, my mom's 37. I'm 39 right now. Can you imagine if I had a 17-year-old? Well, yes, you could, but like, and so she beat the shit out of me, and she's like, "See, it's still like," because I had this stigma of like still wanted to be macho, like I wanted to be a football player or about like I wanted to play a man game, and swimming wasn't really it to me. I was like, "Oh, I got to wear speedos and shave my legs, just like everybody who didn't swim." And dude, it was awesome. And so we won state my freshman year. I was the only sub. We had a team that had 11 seniors on it, and I was the only sub in the game, and I was a freshman. Win
Wow.
state. We win state the next year, and I was like, I'm gonna start swimming to get better at water polo. So like I became like I was an all-American water polo player. I had like the most points scored in the state. Like it's like MVP. But then I was like, okay, so I couldn't get into a school that had a water polo team. So I was like, I'll just go to SMU and swim. And when my swimming career is over, I can always come back to water polo because it was a game, right? Like water polo was a game. And if I became even a better swimmer, I'll become an even better water polo player because I had all the hand-eye coordination from previous sports, baseball, football, basketball. Like I had all that. I just needed to learn how to swim and just, walked on to the team at SMU here in Dallas. It was on I didn't get any recruiting trips.
Hmm.
0. I didn't get a scholarship, nothing. I was walking on campus for like a school tour and made my way to the natatorium, walked into the head coach's office unannounced. I was like, I would like to swim for your team. And he goes,
I would like to swim for your team.
yeah, I
You
say
would
it
be
like
lucky
that,
to have me.
but I was like, I would like to swim for your swim team, sir. And I'm like 6 foot 150. Yeah, I was like, this is tiny little kid. Like nobody knows who I am. I wasn't that great. And he goes, this is one of those things like one of my dad's quotes. He was like, if you can keep up, I'll keep you on the team. I was like, bet. And senior year, like the thing with swimming, just like anything, it's a meritocracy. They're always trying to recruit better people than you.
Mhm.
Once you're there, they almost have no tie to you unless you're like the best person there. If you're the best person there, they pay attention to you. You're on scholarship. They don't want to lose you. But if you're not, they are constantly trying to replace you with someone better every year. Every year. And they would, but I worked my ass off to stay on that team and ended up being team captain my senior year.
Oh,
Not
dang,
the
nice.
fastest swimmer, not the best swimmer. I didn't win anything. My best claim to fame was I made conference finals and got 4th in the 200-meter free. So I almost podiumed at, conference finals. But that was it. And after that, that was, I just a lot of valuable lessons that came from that. But like, yeah, I was a good swimmer. I was by no means a great swimmer. I wasn't even close. And when I look at swimmers now, it's a different world. It's unreal how fast people were or are. Ed, what did you swim? I swam the 100 and 200 freestyles, so meters or yards. So if you guys don't know what that feels like, I ain't one shit chasing. It's like the 400 and 800 in track, which are terrible events. Like if you ask any track person, and the 800 is just it's awful. It's
gross.
It's just a long, disgusting sprint. So those are my main strokes. So I was a mid-distance sprinter. So
I like the IMs. I usually did the
IMs
200
are
IMs.
best. Problem is I was so bad at backstroke.
Really?
Yeah, my coach said I was so bad that I was allergic to it because I'd always sneeze because I'd get water in my nose. It's like, it's because you're allergic. I'm like, sure. That's why I suck at it. Yeah. So that's how I got into swimming. Before that,
cool.
into triathlons for a while. Especially after college, I didn't know what to do. Like I needed a team. I needed a coach. Eric Wise. Oh, you swim the 1650? That is terrible. It's the mile. Oh, Patrick. Look at all these swimmers in here. Patrick Anderson. Oh, it's the 50 meter and 100 meter. You fuckers. You guys like had to practice like 3 times a week. I hated you guys. Put all the sprinters in lane 1, make sure they don't try too hard, and just like have them lift weights so they can be strong. Yeah, watching the distance swimmers practices, I was like, nope. I don't know why anybody would want to do that event. It's terrible. Butterfly. Yeah, that's a fun stroke. Once you could figure
I
it out,
liked it.
butterfly is a fun stroke.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, that's funny. I have Patrick Anderson, who is a sprinter, and then Eric Wise, who was a distance swimmer, and they hated each other. We were right there in the middle. So like we had long practices, but they still weren't as bad as the distance guys. But the distance guys and the sprinters hated each other. Oh, hate each other. Like a soccer mom. I was in the 1650 so I could miss school on Fridays. Yeah. Look at all these swimmers in here.
A lot.
John Robichaux, Ironman back in 2000.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, bro. I did my Ironman in 2009. Did the Tempe.
Oh, that's a good one.
Dude, that water was so effing cold.
Isn't it crazy?
Well, it's all runoff from the mountain. Like people forget,
Right.
like there's snow in Arizona. Like they have mountains. Like,
Right.
and all like the reservoir that they have outside Tempe, Arizona, it was just like runoff. So we had to wear wetsuits in November.
Dude, it is. You should see that whole setup now. You would think that it's like a waterfront town. The way they've maneuvered that whole. It's crazy. It's really cool. They've done a lot down there to Tempe.
Stefan Myers, I classify myself as I can't swimmer because I can't swim.
That's who you identify yourself as?
Patrick Anderson, watch the guy in a meet swim the mile butterfly. Oh,
you know how they do any of the freestyle races? You can do any stroke you want. Yeah.
For those of you guys that don't know this, that Bill just said is like freestyle is called that because you can do any stroke you want during freestyle events. Like, so if it's backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, you have to swim those strokes. But on freestyle, it means really the freedom to choose any style that you want. That's why it's called freestyle. It was called front crawl. You'd have to do something different. But since it's freestyle, you could literally choose any stroke you wanted, and it'd be totally legal.
Yeah.
Oh, you signed up for Tempe, Eric Wise. I signed up for the Tempe Ironman in 2020. No go. Yeah. Yep. Oh.
Oh man.
I know we want
back on the mic here, dude.
So, but maybe next time.
What are we doing?
This was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
I know we started really heavy, but freestyle has been canceled. I know it started heavy, but I didn't know I needed to air that out. I didn't want to. I'm kind of like Bill. Is like I am an emotional guy, but I do keep a lot of things private on a personal level. And did I get to chime in on the PED stuff? Maybe next time. I mean, we can. Yeah.
This
will be good. We'll save that for another time.
That'll be a good shoot.
All said and done. How about that? When it's all finalized, because I feel like we still got a few things left to come up. But
when the last 6 people actually get to compete at the CrossFit Games, then we can talk about it afterwards. And
yeah, they're gonna pull me and Bill out of the booth to fill out the final 40 roster.
What? I made the backfill. Sweet.
Yes. Finally. 13 years later. But no, guys, thanks for hopping on with us. Thanks for listening to us go down the personal life road with you guys. And didn't know I needed to do that. I didn't really want to do that. I know that's the first time I've actually heard Bill.
I never talk about that stuff.
I don't think you guys understand how like big that was. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for hanging with us. This was super fun. Oh yeah, Robichaux, he moved to Germany. I forgot about that.
Oh.
Yeah. But thank you guys for rolling with us. It's good to be back. Oh yes, right before we got to sign off, more pornography offers. Thank you. God, that was a perfect exclamation point Yeah, we appreciate it. Our schedules won't always align with the Friday. I know this is kind of a special thing for, Bill and I, but, this was great.
I kind of like it.
Great, great. Yeah. So thank you guys for rolling with us. We'll try to do this as often as possible because we do a lot of things, like Bill said, programming wise and seriousness wise. I mean, we keep it light, but we want to hang out with you guys and I don't know, share some stories,
I
answer
like it.
some questions. And yeah, keep an eye out on our Instagram where we'll when we like games is less than 3 weeks away. Um, we'll post up. We're gonna try to do a little meet and greet. We'll bring a lot of the OG gear with us. So if you guys are on site and it's hot as hell, we'll have the hats there. And yeah, let's get the Dads of CrossFit podcast going. I mean,
yeah.
yeah. It was fun. But anyways, team, thank you guys so much for rolling with us. Thanks for listening to the laundry that we had to air out. And I actually feel a lot better. And Bill,
Good.
thanks to your perspective and take, and that really did help a lot. So thank you guys for that. Thanks for hanging with us. And as always, just thank you for the support. We as much as you think we I don't know, you guys are a big part of why we want to come on here. Like otherwise,
it's fun. You guys make it so fun.
yeah, you guys make it. You guys do really legitimately make it fun. You're a big reason of why we want to come on here live. Like we could always record this and just pop it out on a podcast platform, but this just makes it so much more fun to do. So thank you guys for just rolling with us. It's really, really cool. Really cool. And we'll hop back on here next week. We'll do a couple live shows. And you guys have had some great ideas on the back end. So if you guys think of anything else, we got some things in the works. The big one is, I think we talked about this last time, but I guess that was 2 weeks ago, was we want to go through every games year and find the one event that best predicted the top 10.
The predictor event. Yeah, the predictor event.
And going through, we're talking about this about the last chance qualifier. The best one was actually event 4.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I wanted to do it. And event 4 of the 20 athletes, 10 men and 10 women, it predicted, or the top 10, 19 of the 20 were all in the top 10 in that event and finished in the top 10 on the weekend. So there is something there. And so what we want to do is find out what that event was every year of the CrossFit Games for 15 years, try to find the theme of what that was, and maybe crack the programming code of what maybe that event will be coming up in 2022. So we got a lot of back end work to get that done. I believe we're going to steal Brian Friend for that one.
He already knows. He already has all that information. You know he does.
I've already talked to him about it. So we'll do a big episode there. And yeah, cracking the programming code. What event can predict the top 10? And then maybe like, if that event is it, that style, should you train that more to predict success at the cross? Who knows? I don't know what we're going to find, but I almost guarantee you we're going to find something that could be groundbreaking when it comes to competition in sport. All right, team. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great weekend. Happy Friday. I forget it's Friday. My world is so upside down right now. What day? Bill, that's a nice looking shirt.
So is yours, my friend.
Nice looking shirt. Yes, it feels very good. Feels very good. Till next time, team. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend, everybody.